What is your position on immigration and the perceived need to reform?
We don't need immigration reform. We already have laws on the books. Now, the hot topic right now is what the Arizona governor did regarding immigration, but if the president and the federal government was doing what it is supposed to do, and that's to protect the consumers, the American people, then we wouldn't have this problem. So I am not for immigration reform. I'm not for amnesty. I'm for deporting people here who are here illegally. Now, some folks say that we don't know where they are. Yes, we do. We even know some of the businesses that are employing them, that are paying them cash under the table. See, businesses that employ these undocumented workers, but I call them illegal aliens, they're paying them cash. They don't have to pay Social Security tax. They don't have to pay FICA. They don't have to pay health care. So we are in that process of recreating the law as we're breaking the law, but the law is stated clearly. And folks who come to our country breaking the law, clearly they don't respect the law.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to meet with you today. DeSoto County is very important to me and our efforts, and I welcome this opportunity to meet with you and by extension your readers and viewers. Immigration reform, I think it's one of the most serious issues facing our country today. We've seen over the last few weeks Arizona enact meaningful legislation. I think they felt compelled to do so because the federal government was not enforcing the existing laws. I think one of the first things we need to do is begin to enforce the laws that are already on the books. We've got a lot of good laws, but the federal government's just ignoring them. Secondly, we do need to actively secure and patrol our borders. And thirdly, we've got to deal with the magnet that is drawing people here illegally. And that magnet is jobs. In the state of Mississippi in 2008, we passed meaningful immigration reform that dealt with employers, some of which will voluntarily turn a blind eye and ignore the problem. Well, we can't do that. We've got to deal with the magnet that's drawing illegal immigrants to America. It is an economic problem. In a region where we have upwards of 12% unemployment, there are people who are saying, well, these illegals are doing jobs that U.S. citizens will not do. I just reject that notion. I think in today's economy with very high unemployment, there are a lot of people that are looking for work and would willingly take work. But I think it is bigger than just an economic issue. I think it's also an internal security issue. The thing that binds us together as Americans is our respect for law. And if an individual comes to this nation and disrespects the very first law while they're in this country, the law of immigration, there's no reason to expect them to respect our other laws, our laws protecting property, our laws protecting individuals, such as rape, murder, assault, etc. So it is an economic problem, but it's even bigger than that. It is a very serious internal security problem as well.
I think that we need to secure our borders. That's the highest, or very high priority for the United States. We need to enforce the laws we have. I congratulate Arizona for doing what they did. I think they have every right to do it. There's no constitutional prohibition against them doing it. A lot of criticism has been received for that state for the reasonable suspicion stop provisions. However, the U.S. Supreme Court in 1968, in a case called Terry versus Ohio, said that that was constitutional and you can reasonably stop somebody, detain them, and further investigate. And that's what their law provides. I see no problem with that. We need to enforce our own laws. We already have immigration laws on the books that aren't being enforced. That's why we have the problem. Congress needs to do that. Everyone who comes in the country, I believe, needs to come in legally. Those who haven't need to restart the process and come in as legal residents of the United States. There may be some provisions where we can fast track some people under certain circumstances, of course. And this applies to people all over the world. Everyone needs to come in legally. We have a border fence that was built by congressional direction, I think, in 2006 or 2007. I worked in the division in the Justice Department, the Environment and Natural Resources Division, that was in charge of securing the land, excuse me, to build the fence. And that was some of the things we worked on. The fence was pretty much finished by the time George Bush left office in January of '09. I think it was completed in the next few weeks. That fence needs to be equipped and manned and maintained. The fence is very effective. In places in Arizona where they did not have the fence, they would have 7,000 incursions a week. After the fence, it would go down to 70 a week. And we can manage that. We can man the fence and manage that situation. However, there's indications that the Obama administration may not be interested in keeping the fence in place the way it was built, or maintaining or manning it. We need to make sure that happens. That's one of the things that I would want to do in Congress, is to secure our borders and make sure that fence is there and enforce the laws.